that I brought with me, just for the sake of time and safety. My smaller frost knife allows me a little more control. I can whittle this down. Cool. Alright, always, again, sheath your knife. Okay, hopefully you can see that, but I made these edges just a little bit butter knife sharp, okay? So I want to keep the edges now as dry as I can. So I'm gonna try to cover those. The piece that we cut the holding piece off of, the thinner piece off of, is the one that we're going to use as our fireboard, okay? So to start this, what I've learned is I'm going to take my cutting tool, and what I want to do is I want to find the middle somewhere comfortable, and I want to start to drill on the inside just until the tip of the knife reaches the other side. Just until the tip of the knife reaches the other side. And I'm keeping my finger away from it. Some people do it with their finger there. I don't trust the bamboo, and I don't want to jab my finger. So I'm just gonna keep working at it, just keep drilling. There it is. Now it's coming through the other side. I want a little prick, okay? So just so you can see that, okay? It's just right there, okay? And that's what I want, okay? So on this side now, I want to make a cut that's perpendicular, okay, to the length of the board. And I want to take my blade, and it would help if it was serrated, but I can just kind of take my knife and saw right over the pinprick, right over the pinprick here, okay? On the other side, there's the hole. I can even widen that just a little bit, because we'll need that. We'll need more widening for this technique as I'm learning, okay? So now what we're gonna do, what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna make a groove with the blade. And so I'm gonna take the blade here, and I wanna kind of whittle down into it. Okay. So that's I'm getting one side of it, okay? And I want to whittle the other side of it. Right over the hole. Okay. What I want to try to do is create a divot or a seat. Okay. Now, okay, I'm sweating because it's about 70 degrees out right now, but very humid and just wet. And sweat, I've learned in primitive fire making, is not your friend. All right, so sheath my knife. I've got my divot cut. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some tinder. I already have some tinder. There's plenty of natural materials around to make tinder, but we're in the tropical setting where this comes from. There's probably going to be very little dry material to use, fine enough dry material to use to coax an ember or to flame. So the bamboo itself is self-sustaining. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife, and what I want to do is I want to scrape the veneer off by holding the blade perpendicular, and again away from me, scraping. By doing so, I'm creating these fine fibers, these fibers here, what we're going to use as our part of our tinder bundle. Okay, so I'm gonna do this down, and I'm gonna have more leverage if I'm doing it downward this way, and I'm gonna find a dry patch or something, and then I'm gonna show you what the results will be. Always resheath your knife. Alright, cool. And as it would have it, the rain is starting to pick up a little bit. Here's some shavings. Here's what I was able to get. I could get more if I wanted to, but this should work, okay? What I want to do is mash it up a little bit. Keep it dry because it's rainy out. I want to mash it up a little bit, give it some more surface area, like so. Okay. And then I want to break it in half. I want 2 halves. Just split it. Okay. Again, keep the both sides dry. Okay. And it's about to get soggy out, so we're gonna have to kind of work fast on this. So what we're gonna do next is we want to take the sliver piece that we cut off earlier and find our hole with our divot, okay, right there on the back side here. So what I want to do next is I want to place the tinder on each side of the hole, like so, okay? So I want a configuration like this, okay, over the hole, all right? Then I want to take my sliver and I want to hold it in place like this. Pretty neat, huh? The bamboo is self-starting. It's got everything you need, okay? So now we're about ready to get this going, okay? So one other thing. The form of this is I'm going to need to take my bamboo piece and I'm going to need to, the way I'm doing this standing up, I'm going to find a nice dry patch right about here, plenty of canopy, and I'm going to lean into it like this and work it like this. So that's the form I want, okay? So that kind of hurts my stomach. I could probably put it in my belt line, but you know, why not use, you know, the bottom of your shoe or a pack of leaves or even a t-shirt or something like that, and kind of fold it up to create some comfort. Okay. So again, I want to find a nice dry patch. You guys can see this, and we're going to have to work fast. Okay. So this is nice and soft ground, so I can seat it in there, and I don't have to worry about it slipping. And I can kind of lean into it a little bit, find my edges that I cut earlier. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab my setup, and I want to work it. I want to find the notch that I just cut, all right, and I want to find it, let it sit in there, and just go back and forth. Let it bury itself in there. I can already kind of smell the friction. Okay, then what I'm going to do, that's to get it started. Okay, it's starting to burn in. Okay, that's to get it started. You can smell the friction. So what we're going to do, you're going to go ahead and give this a go, and you're going to start off with long strokes and then shorten to short, hard downward strokes to create the necessary friction you need. Okay, so I'm going to make sure my tinder bundle is ready. And I'm holding I'm going to take the softest tinder and put it upside down, so only the outside will get wet, because this is the soft fine tinder is what you need to really dry to be the accelerant. So next, keep that down, keep that ready to go. Get my shirt cushion, find my form, and then here we go. We're going to give it a go. Okay? All right, I think we got it. I want to nurture it until I'm ready to transfer it to the tinder bundle. Supply oxygen to it. Now that you got the smoke that's continuing to billow out, you know you've got it. So just feed it oxygen. That's what fire needs. It's friction, oxygen, and fuel. It's got the fuel. We provided the friction. Now we just got to give it oxygen. There we go. So from the bottom there is what we need the sharp end for, to poke the coal out when we're ready to transfer it to the tinder bundle. So I'm gonna make sure that we've got this. I see the glow, and carefully I'm going to take my tip and just kind of dislodge it a bit. Okay, so then I'm going to take my tinder bundle that I set upside down from the moisture right here, and I got my accelerant. What I like to do is place the tinder bundle on top and transfer upside down. Success. Now hold it in a sandwich. We can see that. Okay, we want to be careful. And this is the baby, so we gotta gently nurture it. And we can give it some time to smolder a bit. Boom, there we go. So it ignited for us pretty easy. That was relatively easy friction fire to make. If I had my fire lay, I would lay it in my fire lay. But right now I'm just gonna set it, damp it down before I burn myself. And I got some water that I carry that I can pour this out so we don't set a forest fire or nothing. But there you pretty much have it. So there you go. That's fire by friction with the bamboo fire saw. Go ahead, put this out.